Hello, welcome back here in the Cadence Weather Center. Right now, today is December 10th, 2024. We're paying attention here to a little bit of some more action starting to come down here. We have a little bit of that snowfall that we're going to be paying attention to over here in the northwest, and we'll touch on that here in a little bit. But we also are going to be seeing a lot of temperature changes down here in the south and parts of the northeast as well. We're going to talk about that majority of this, and then we also have a little bit of a severe weather threat kind of going on down here in the southeast. So a little bit to be paying attention to for a couple systems here. Unfortunately, we have a lot of, temperatures up in the northwest that are reaching into the negatives overnight, so that could be bringing some pretty big issues with that, and the same with the snowfall. We're going to go through a little bit of a forecast today going through this. I do want to let you know that we do have some changes actually coming into Cadence Weather Center. There's a lot of big changes kind of headed for the YouTube channel and all of that, so make sure to stay tuned and updated for that. Make sure to follow me on my X page as well. I'm going to start posting on there again. It's been a little bit of a break, but we're going to head right back into it. So taking a look here at the satellite, not much going on. You can see a little bit of thunderstorm activity starting to pop up over here in parts of central Alabama heading into western Georgia. A lot of, cloud cover. This will be associated with some snow over here in parts of Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota. And that will continue to push down to the south, as well as some pretty big clouds, and possibly some snowfall expected here in the New York area. So that's something that we're paying attention to, but mostly a cold front is coming down. So we'll definitely see some cooler temperatures down here in the southeast tomorrow. Taking a look at the severe weather threat for today, we can clearly see, and actually this was just updated here. So the severe weather threat does include several, the marginal risk does include a couple areas right now, but the one thing I want to say is the slight risk, just got issued around 5 minutes ago. That's been the big change here as of right now. Taking a look at this though, Alabama, Georgia, you guys are seeming to be in that slight risk. Small chance of a tornado, but cannot rule one out. And that's why there's a 5% chance area right here for a tornado in a 25-mile radius of anywhere in that 5% zone there. 2%, in the marginal risk, stretching from Louisiana going into parts of, southeastern Mississippi, going into southern Alabama, almost northern Georgia, but really central Georgia. And then the Florida Panhandle has that little bit of a severe weather threat as well. Take a look here at the wind threat. That is our biggest threat that we're going to be looking at here. 15% chance here with that wind, so we could be seeing a little bit of gusty winds coming down with this cold front, and this is obviously associated with the cold front. Let's take a look here at the future model run. What are we looking at currently right now? You kind of can see severe weather threat continues on in this region right here, but this will eventually kind of make its way over here to the northeast and possibly get a little bit more severe as we go on throughout the rest of the day here. Heading into around 12 p.m., 1 p.m., 2 p.m., we can see that cold front's obviously coming down. We can clearly see, though, there are some pretty big thunderstorms that could be forming here in parts of eastern Alabama heading into western Georgia. And then we could see going on to later this evening, 6 p.m. time, where, that cold front kind of extends itself down here into the Gulf of Mexico as well. And that kind of will bring up a little bit of that moisture as well. But the temperature drop will happen once this cold front starts to move down. So later on this evening, these temperatures will continue to drop in this region right here in the central part of the United States, but you can clearly see scattered thunderstorms are expected later this evening here in the south, in Georgia and Alabama, and that's where that biggest severe weather threat is. Then we continue on throughout tomorrow, still watching that severe weather threat continuing, and a lot of rainfall could be expected over here in parts of the northeast associated with this cold front here, and then we can see a lot of snowfall, little snow showers over here in the parts of the northern United States, but little scattered showers will eventually make its way into the Florida Peninsula heading into tomorrow. We could be seeing some maybe some slight thunderstorms here, but no big severe weather threat. And then around 11 a.m. tomorrow, we could be seeing a little bit of that rain shower starting to come into the west coast of Florida. And once again, once this all passes, the temperatures will continue to kind of drop down, and that will bring in those cooler temperatures. And then over the tomorrow, heading into December 12th, we won't be seeing very much going on right here, and they will just be really cold temperatures that we could be seeing here in some areas. going to possibly be in the teens, so something to pay attention to. Let's take a look at the GFS though, because this kind of gives us an idea. So obviously we're seeing that a little bit of severe weather threat. This kind of gives us an idea though. So the GFS is thinking here as of December 11th, so tomorrow, snowfall will kind of be a big thing right over here in the Ohio Valley. We could be seeing some pretty heavy snowfall in some areas. Then this will push up over here into parts of the New York, and we are going to talk about that here very, very shortly. But that will eventually make its way and continue off to the northeast here, and that will bring some pretty snowy, conditions. The GFS here on December 14th expecting maybe a possible another situation with some rainfall here, and then that, maybe another cold front. But then the GFS, as it's still updating here with the 12Z, December 19th, we could be possibly seeing a big snowstorm kind of heading up here into the northern part of the United States, mostly in Canada, but it's something to pay attention to, especially as we could be hinting at another possible severe weather threat going on in the next coming of days. So taking a look at this though, this is the United States look here. This is the high temperatures right now. This is going to be for tomorrow. This is the high temperatures for tomorrow. We can clearly see in the parts of the northern United States, actually some in parts of North Dakota and parts of even northwestern Minnesota, in the negatives for highs, for the high. So very, very cold temperatures are there, and that's pretty freezing temperatures. And then you kind of can see where that cold front is located tomorrow. You kind of can see that majority of the United States is dealing with some, cold weather, but as you can see, little areas down here in Florida and then parts of the Carolinas, still upper 60s, lower 70s is pretty good temperature still. And then you take a look here down in Florida, 85, 84 down here in Miami. That will cool down here in the next coming of days, and we'll start to see that, heading in on Thursday, we'll see some of that cold temperature once again, negatives continuing on, maybe a little bit of warming up, though, in parts of that northern part of the United States here. But some areas right here in the central United States could reach up into the teens as well for the highs, and then temperatures will continue to drop down here in the Florida Peninsula, same with Georgia and Alabama. Day 3, day 4 starts to probably pick up once again, and then we'll see those high temperatures start to pick up, and then it might be a little bit until we have a little bit of that cold front come down. So if you live down here in Florida and the parts of the southeast, it does seem like you're going to get a pretty strong cold front coming down here in the next couple of, heading into tomorrow, going into Thursday. Seems like we'll have a big temperature drop here, and especially in the low temperatures. So expect that, with the low temperatures, but then also expect that the possibility you might not have a cold front for a little while after this one comes through. It could be, maybe a week or a week and a half. Taking a look at the low temperatures though for tomorrow, in the negative 11 here in parts of North Dakota, we could be seeing that as well, and as well as the central United States reaching 20 degrees Fahrenheit, and 2 degrees here in Wyoming, Colorado. Very, very cold temperatures really off to the northwest here. Heading into day 2, that's when you start to see those temperatures really start to dig in here. Negative 17, negative 16 here if you live in parts of northern North Dakota, and also in northern Minnesota, very, very cold temperatures as well. And then same over here in the single digits, kind of in this little area, and that's really just including those mountains as well. But look at this in the Florida Panhandle, 35 degrees here for the low, and then Georgia into the 32s, freezing temperatures there. And then you could see it heading into day 4, it'll start to warm up again once again, and we'll see those temperatures start to warm up for the United States, and once again we might be seeing a little bit of a break here with that. Taking a look here at the blend for the snowfall totals here in the northwest, you can see in the next 48 hours we could be anticipating here right now here in Northern California. In Northern California, you could see some of those bigger, snowfall totals could really start to reach up here, especially when it comes into that 96 hours out here, 120 hours out. Mostly going to be staying near the mountains, but you can definitely see 5 inches in parts of Idaho. So it kind of gives you, a little bit of an idea, though, what could we be expecting here? Because over the next 10 days, we're going to expect some pretty big snowfall in some areas as well, possibly reaching up into 10 inches of snow in some of those areas. Then you take a look here at the northeast, not very much going on with that. But then over here around 36 hours we can kind of see some of those snow showers expected to pop up here. This is 3 inches right here in parts of the southwesternmost part of New York here. Heading into 96 hours, 15 inches of snow could be possibly seen in this area, 10 inches here in the north part of of New York here. And then you take a look at this, Michigan 13 to 12 in the northern part of Michigan, so big snowfall could happen here. Then you head into around 8.5 days and just max it out at 10 days here. Taking a look at this, 16 inches in some areas right here, 10 inches continues, and then 15 inches possibly in the northern part of Michigan. So something to pay attention to as we go on throughout the next couple of days. When will the snowfall start? Probably heading into, possibly tomorrow night, heading into Thursday morning. We could be seeing a little bit of those snowfall totals starting to ramp up here, especially in the northeast, But the Northwest also needs to be paying attention to it. But majority of it's kind of staying on the mountains. But still, once again, if you live in North Dakota, Minnesota, very, very freezing temperatures are going on, especially pushing into the negative. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you do, make sure to leave a like, subscribe. For more frequent updates coming here on the weather, more updates will be coming out as well. And, remember, big change coming to Caden's Weather Center. So make sure to stay tuned with that. Make sure to follow my X page down in the description for the latest updates here on the weather. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. Make sure you stay safe out there, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.